Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving deep into the body's ultimate defense force, the immune system. Now, if you've got a comprehensive exam on the horizon, think of this as your high-yield mission briefing. Let's get you ready.
Okay, to really nail this topic, I want you to picture something. Imagine your body is a fortress, and it is under constant attack from invaders like bacteria and viruses. The army defending this fortress, that's your immune system, and it's an incredibly sophisticated force with two major branches.
So here's our battle plan. We're going to start by identifying the two main armies, then we'll meet their elite soldiers, understand how they're trained, and wrap it all up with a playbook of the absolute must-know intel for your exam.
Right, so how is this whole defense force organized? It's not just one big mob of cells. No, it's split into two really distinct divisions, and each one has a completely different strategy for protecting you.
And this slide just perfectly lays out the fundamental difference. Think of your innate immunity like the guards on the castle walls. They're always there, they're always ready, and they'll fight anything that looks suspicious. But they don't really learn. The adaptive side, though, they're your special forces. They need time to be trained for a specific enemy, but once they learn, they remember that enemy for life.
Okay, let's zero in on that first line of defense, the innate system. These are the frontline troops, the ones that engage the enemy the very second they try to breach the walls.
The key word here, and you're going to want to circle this in your notes for your exam, is non-specific. This system does not care who the enemy is. Its only job is to provide an immediate, overwhelming response to stop any invasion right in its tracks.
So, the crucial point is this. The innate system uses physical barriers, like your skin, and even chemical warfare, like stomach acid, to keep invaders out. And if something does get in, it sends out these general patrol cells called phagocytes to just engulf and destroy the threat. No questions asked.
But what happens when a threat is too powerful or maybe too clever for those first responders? Well, that's when your body calls in the specialists, the adaptive immune system.
This is where your body gets really smart. The adaptive system learns to recognize a specific enemy, what we call an antigen. It then designs a highly tailored attack plan and, this is the most important part, it remembers that plan forever. I mean, this is the whole reason you usually only get something like chickenpox once.
And this elite force is divided into two specialized branches. First up, you've got cellular immunity, led by T cells. You can think of them as assassins that hunt down enemies hiding inside your own cells, like viruses love to do. Then there's humoral immunity, which is led by B cells. This group operates in your body's fluids, the humors. They're kind of like an air force, tagging free-floating enemies like bacteria with these little precision-guided missiles we call antibodies.
So you might be wondering, how does our fortress get these incredible, elite defenses in the first place? Well, it turns out there are two main paths to immunity.
Here's a super simple way to remember this for your test. Active immunity is your own army going through a tough boot camp. It takes time, but it builds lasting skills and memory. Passive immunity, on the other hand, is like being loaned an ally's advanced weapons. Yeah, they're effective right away, but the protection is only temporary, because you never learned how to build them yourself.
Okay, let's zoom in a little bit and meet the individual soldiers that actually make up these armies. Understanding their specific roles is going to be key.
I mean, just look at this. Look at the sheer dominance of T cells here. They make up a staggering 80% of your circulating lymphocytes. That number alone should tell you everything you need to know about who's in charge of the adaptive response.
This table right here is your ultimate cheat sheet. T cells are the field commanders and the assassins, taking out infected cells. B cells are the weapons factories, churning out antibodies to neutralize bacteria. And then you have the NK or natural killer cells. They're like the versatile special ops that work with the innate team to take out virus-infected cells and even tumors.
This is such a critical concept. These T helper cells, you'll also see them called CD4+ cells, they don't actually do the killing themselves. Nope, they act as the generals. They release these chemical signals called cytokines that coordinate the entire attack, telling B cells and other T cells what to do, when to do it, and how to do it.
Now this number, 8-to-1, is a vital health metric. Think of it like a gas pedal and a brake. In a healthy body, for every 8 T helper cells hitting the gas and amping up the immune response, you've got 1 T regulatory cell applying the brakes to cool things down. It's all about that perfect balance between aggression and control.
And this is a really stark illustration of what happens when that balance is completely destroyed. The HIV virus specifically targets and kills those T helper cells.
This causes the ratio to flip, to completely invert, dismantling the command structure of the immune system and leaving the body totally defenseless.
And finally, let's not forget the cleanup crew. These are your phagocytes. You have neutrophils, which are the absolute first on the scene of a bacterial infection, just swallowing them whole. And then you've got monocytes. They're the jacks of all trades. They not only eat bacteria, but they also clean up all the battlefield debris and, importantly, help signal the adaptive army that a bigger fight is coming.
All right, it's time for the final mission brief. We've covered a lot of ground, but it all really comes down to a few core principles. If you're cramming for your exam, this next slide is your ultimate playbook.
You absolutely have to get these 4 distinctions down cold. Number 1, innate versus adaptive. Fast and general versus slow and specific. 2, T cells versus B cells. Viral assassins versus bacterial weapons factories. 3, active versus passive. You either build your own memory or you borrow temporary defenses. And 4, the huge significance of that 8-to-1 ratio as a vital health check. Seriously, these concepts are the absolute bedrock of immunology and are guaranteed to show up on your exam.
So as you wrap up this review, just remember this isn't some abstract theory just for a test. This complex, intelligent army is operating inside of you right now. It is constantly learning, adapting, and getting ready to defend your fortress from whatever comes next. Good luck.